Welcome to CrossYoga. My name is Ria. I'm the host of this channel. And today I'll guide you through a crazy cool power yoga class. You are gonna use your legs. You are gonna get those babies on fire. And you're gonna find a wall. Maybe not the most white wall you have at home, as you're gonna put your feet up on the wall. I'll explain how that all works. But let's get started. Come into a standing pose on your mat, wherever you are. Maybe you move your mat around to get close to the wall, I don't know. But close your eyes. Take your shoulders up and back and down, maybe rolling a little bit. Moving your head, your neck. Close your eyes. And you are more than welcome to keep moving if you like. And I'll start this time with a prayer, and you're more than welcome to pray with me in your heart. God, I want to thank you for this morning, this day. Thank you for every gift that you have given to us. Help us to be grateful. Maybe take a deep inhale and sigh it out. So for me in yoga, sighing out, letting go is a way of seeking forgiveness. Forgiveness towards God for things that you might have done, or forgiveness towards yourself or people around you. So maybe you need to sigh it out a little bit more and let that go. It's all covered with Jesus, and you are free. And listen to Psalm 92. NIV version, it says, "It is good to praise the Lord and make music to your name, O Most High. Proclaiming your love in the morning and your faithfulness at night. To the music of the 10-stringed lyre and the melody of the harp. It is good to praise the Lord and make music." We don't have instruments here, but I think our bodies can be counted as an instrument that we can play and use for God's glory. And it's good to praise the Lord. I think that's really interesting. So keep your eyes closed and let's do some big circles with our arms. Inhale, take your arms above your head. Exhale, palms together and take them in front of your chest. And do that a few more times. And I can't help but wonder when I read that verse, because I needed that verse this morning in my personal devotion. Why is it good to praise the Lord? Why is it good? One more time. I believe it's not because God needs our prayer. It's not like he's sitting up there all powerful and mighty thinking, give me some praise. No, I think it's mostly maybe about ourselves and our attitudes toward God and towards ourselves. It's good to give praise to the Lord because it changes us when we do that. Okay, come into a forward fold. Sway from side to side. Bend one knee, bend the other. Use your Ujjayi breath if you know how to use it. Exhale and inhale through your nose, and that snoring, exhaling sound. Okay, bend your knees further down. Chair pose, spread out your toes, lift up your arms here in front of you. Engage your core. And just look at your legs right now. We are going to go deeper into our chair at some point. Oh yeah. Stand up. Lift your arms out to the side and play the instrument of your arms, lifting up our heart, saying, okay, God, I might not feel grateful right now, but I want to give thanks anyway. For whatever, for my house, for my health, being able to do yoga today. Palms together and fold forward. Half lift. Exhale, plant your hands down, lower your feet down to plank. On your knees or toes, lower down to your chest, on your chest. Inhale, lift your chair, your chest up, and go into down dog. And again, welcome to side it out if you need. And 2 more sun salutations. Jump or walk, inhale to your front. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, huge inhale. Sway your arm back to the side, palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plank to low plank. Cobra or up dog, whatever. Inhale and go to your down dog. Exhale. Take 1 breath. And when ready, jump or walk to the front end of your mat. 1 more time. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, move to your low plank. Lift up your chest, inhale, and exhale, down dog. Again, taking your time, letting your chest sink a little bit lower towards the mat. 1 more breath. Maybe you bend your knees a little bit. Small micro bend in your elbows at least. Jump or walk to the front end of your mat. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, high mountain, palms together. All right, now sink into your chair and sit low. Okay, as low as you can. Now engage your core quite a bit. So you stand up here. Put your hands, at least in the beginning, by your hips. Straighten out your legs as much as possible. Lean forward until you think your vertebrae, your spine is horizontal. Navel in. Bend again your knees, find chair pose. Let's do this in the rhythm of our breath. Inhale, lean forward. Well, not all the way. And exhale, chair. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, chair. Now, if you want a little bit more intense, you might go for straightening out your arms when you lean forward, like this. And up. Really engaging your core. You don't do this if you can't get your navel in. A few more times. Firing up. I hope you can feel your hamstrings. 2 more times. And next time, fold all the way down. Let go, stretch your lower back. And then move your right leg to the back end of your mat. Crescent lunge at least in 1 second. Lift your hands off the floor and up towards the sky. Feel like you're moving your inner thighs a little bit together without your knees coming in, okay? And go low, really low on that front knee if you want to fire up your quads. And again, deep inhale. On your exhale, lean forward, arms out to the side. Inhale, raise your arms up. You don't need to look up, but you can if you like. Exhale and move down. Let's do that. 5, 4. Go low if you can. 3, 2, and just the last one. Hands down on the mat. Walk your hands a little bit further back. Straighten up both legs to get a little bit of a stretch on the hamstrings. Let your forehead reach toward that front knee. And then bend the front knee again. Move into your wide-legged forward fold. So let your toes be aligned so that you're even on your mat. And we're not going to stay here. We're going to move a little bit from side to side. Walk your hands from right to left foot. Bend one knee, stretch the other. So there's no right or wrong here, just move. Almost like I'm thinking like a panda or like a tiger or something like that. Soft movements, opening up. Making sure that knees, toes are in the same direction, especially when you bend them. Awesome. Getting those legs on fire. Walk your hands to the front end of your mat and step to the front of your mat. Lean forward and relax your legs. Take an inhale, put your hands on your thighs. Look forward, navel in. Next exhale, again forward fold. And this time maybe go a little bit deeper, maybe stretch your legs just a tiny bit more. Beautiful. Then your left leg moves back. Once again, crescent lunge. Get hip width distance in between your feet. Lift up and try to see if you can keep your balance. So praise the Lord, because it is good. He is good. And when we think about all the greatness of God and all He created and all He gave us, not just houses and a body and all that, but salvation and freedom, love, there's so much to be grateful for. Also, even though we might be in hard circumstances. On your next exhale, move forward as we did on the other side. Spread your wings out. Angel wings. And let's go for 5. Engage your shoulders behind you. So you move your shoulder blades back, opening up your chest. 3. And go low. And make sure that front knee is still bended. Always bend it. Last move. Awesome. Hands down on the mat and step it back into your plank pose. You might want to shake that feeling out of your legs. Okay, micro bend your elbows, spread out your fingers and keep your plank going here. Notice if your hip is lifted here and then put it a little bit lower than your shoulders. Engage your quads. So every muscle and even your face in a smile is engaged. Ujjayi breath going. Then bend your knees, find child's pose just for a second or two. One last breath here, moving into your abs before we're gonna use our wall. So lift up. Come to you with down on your mat with your feet probably pointing towards the screen. Lean back. Again, core engaged, palms together, front of you. And then we are rowing the boat. Move your hands out to the side and lift up. So here you sit tall. And when you move your hands out to the side, you lean back. If you have back issues, you might not want to go too low here. Powerful Ujjayi breath. Thank you. Our muscles were made to move, okay? So when they're not moving, they're inactive. So I'm thinking with every pose, with every movement here, my muscle fibers are playing a grace song or a worship song to God. Even though it might be hard. Let's do it 2 more times. Beautiful. Move back, not because we're going into a stretch. Oh no. Bend your knees, feet on the ground, and heels somewhat close to your hips. Bridge pose. So lift up your hip, Squeeze your buttocks together really great and a lot. And either move your hips down like this, slowly and up again, really lifting high, or take your right leg up and move it down. So let's go for 4 and 3. Now if you take your right leg up, you will lift through your left heel. 2 and 1. Switching sides, maybe keeping your hip lifted. Want those glutes on fire. 4. Lift high, especially if you've got both feet on the ground. 3. 2 and 1. Lovely. We're going to play a little bit here. So, imagine your whole body is like glued in one pose. The pose will probably be easier to find when we're sitting up. But if you take a look, you move up and down, and your body somewhat stays in the same pose. This will get into your abs and your core. So, move forward and back, like a rocking chair. And you round your back a little bit so you don't say bonk down. You roll forth and back. And if I keep moving, I'll move out of the stream because I'm moving somewhere. Maybe you are too. 2 more times. Awesome. Look, I'm almost out of my mat here. Okay, move your legs back. Find down dog once again. And maybe you side it out. You know, I really like that verse because it says, proclaim your love, proclaim God's love in the morning. So what do you do in the morning as the first thing? You check your Facebook or whatever social media you're on. Or maybe we should wake up. The first thing in our mind would be to remember how loved we are by God, how wonderfully God is, and how much God has done for us. What a day that would be if we could do that. I mean, that would help me, I think. All right, walk your feet to the front end of your mat and fold forward. Relax your arms and hands. Move into high mountain. Now the time has come. We're going to use the wall. So maybe you start facing the wall and take one foot up so that the leg here is completely aligned or horizontal. Feet on the ground. So look down and notice where the foot on the ground is. Then you step it back, turn around, because we're going to do warrior 3. So you can take your right leg and move it back towards the wall. And maybe you move a little bit out. I would do that, I think. Okay, you are going to have your back towards the wall. Take your right leg and move it back, like you're walking on the wall. So it might take a little bit of a testing, trial and error to see how to get that working. Your hips are closed. So if you take your hands behind you, your glutes here will be aligned. You are gonna push into the wall with that right leg. Straighten out both legs. Warrior 3, maybe you take your arms to the front or maybe just by your hip. You feel that, all right? I hope you do. Woo! Still a little bit of balance here. Breathe. I'm counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it back just a tiny bit. Chair pose, toes together, sink lower than the first time we were here. Yay. Now squeeze thighs or knees and toes together. If you toes can't reach, just go for your thighs, no worries. Palms together and let's twist. to your left side. Palms together, the thumbs towards your chest and shoulders away from your ears. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fold forward, stretch out those legs. All right, step it a little bit to the front again. This time, left leg behind you. Take a look at the foot underneath your belly. And when you're ready, lift up. Push into the back wall. Engage both legs as much as you can. Wow. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chair pose, toes and knees together. Make sure you don't arch your back, navel in. Are you loving it so far? Palms together, twist to your right side. Make sure knees don't squeeze too much away from each other. Push those palms together and breathe as deeply as you can. You're doing good. Relax. Forward fold, stretch out your legs. Take your fingers to the front end of your mat. Walk your feet back. We're gonna go into a small back bend. Knees on the ground, toes or toenails at least on the ground. And then an up dog, staying for a stretch. Make sure you have space in front of your chest so that you move your chest open and shoulders back and shoulders down. Mindful that you don't lower your hip too much to what you can do, because the hip or the lower lumbar back is not that flexible. All right. Engage your core. Child's pose. Just last thing about that verse. It really spoke to me this morning. So one thing is proclaiming God's love in the morning, and then it says his faithfulness at night. Yeah, at night. So the first thing in the morning, remind yourself of God's love and who God is, and in the night before you go to sleep, give thanks for God because he's just faithful. Wow, what a game changer that would be for a lot of people if we could start our day and end our day with gratitude. Lift up, downward facing dog yet again. We're not completely done with the wall yet. Take your Vinyasa flow, inhale to your plank. Exhale, lower down and do it slowly. Elbows by your hips. Lifting your chest. And moving down dog. Beautiful. Jump or walk to the front end of your mat. Once again, turn your back towards the wall. Second time we're going to use the wall. It's going to be half moon. Let's start with the left leg this time, just to switch it up. So half moon. Begin with your fingers on the ground and then lift up left leg towards that wall again. You might take your time to find that right pose. Straighten out the leg, and you might lift a little bit higher than your hips, that's okay. Lift your left arm up as well. Stay grounded with your right hand on the ground, or if you like, play with it, maybe lifting up. It's pretty intense. So kick your foot into that wall. Woo! And have some fun. Breathe, don't hold your breath. 3, 2, 1, and and let go. This time, move into your yoga squat. Sit low, take your palms here together, let your elbows move your legs out. And if you feel like it, go for your crow pose, bend your knees, let your knees sink to your elbows, lift your toes, and just play with it if you like. I'm not gonna go more into it. Lifting up again, moving your feet together and step it a little bit away from the wall. We're gonna do opposite side. Again, begin with fingers on the ground. Right leg lifts up, opening up your hips so toes pointing out to the side. Straighten out both legs, of course, without hyperextending them. Shoulders stacked above each other. Breath going steady. And again, just play with it if you want to lift off the floor. Core, I hope you can see, is engaged. One last breath. Wow. Maybe you feel difference between the left and right side. Maybe. All right. Move it back on your mat. Downward facing dog. Walk. Any stretch tension out. Move into your plank and lower down on your knees. We're gonna go into our back for just 1 second. Take your hands down by your side, toenails on the ground. Lift up your chest. Lift up those arms. Move your palms together so thumbs move towards the ground, and then lift up your legs as well. And really lift them. See how high or how much off the floor you can actually lift those thighs. One last breath. And relax. Stacking your hands, forehead on your hands. And this is basically it. Move back into child's pose. And if you want to do a little bit more of stretching, maybe you can do it on your own. I'll just guide you into 1 or 2 stretching poses and then we're done. Lift up, take your legs to the front end of your mat. Either you can go into plow pose, or if you have back issues, neck issues, your plow pose will be this direction. Maybe a little micro bend in your knees. So lean forward. If you want to go for your plow pose and don't know what it looks like, take a look. You're not going to move your neck when you're down in plow pose. Okay, promise me that. You can do a neck injury. So plow pose, you would lift up your hip. Try to see if your hip can be aligned with your shoulders. Maybe just stretch out your knees here. Or maybe feet can reach the floor. You can always take a hold of your lower back. So if you're not into it and you want to try it, give it a go. It's a deep forward fold and it's kind of hard to breathe and talk. Take a hold of your lower back and bend your knees and slowly come down on your mat. Feet on the ground and relax. That will probably be a stretch for your hamstrings as well. Take your feet a little bit further away from your hip and then move your legs to your right side without them really touching the floor, just out so that you maybe feel a little bit of stretch in your lower back. And stay here, close your eyes. your legs to the other side. And it might feel different, one side and the other. And as you're laying down here with your eyes closed, let me just read that verse one last time. Remind yourself of what we've been talking about. Psalm 92, verse 1-3. It's good to praise the Lord and make music to your name, O Most High. Proclaiming your love in the morning and your faithfulness at night, to the music of the 10-stringed lyre and the melody of the harp. So besides playing our muscle instruments, it's always also nice to listen to music. Hug your knees in, and if you want to go for a little bit of a resting pose on the mat, please do that. Maybe just a meditation about God's love and his faithfulness. But if you're done, I just want to say thank you so much for attending my class today. I hope you had a great time. Thank you for helping CrossYoga reach further out by subscribing and liking, and most of all, sharing the channel. God's blessings on your path. Thank you.